following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Television. Together, serving education.
This computer center is operated by a college, and it's a little noisy, but we're here to make a point. Not long ago, these computers were used to analyze information collected in a survey that was to help determine the future of the college. The purpose of the survey was to help the college better serve the community. It was hoped that if people were offered the kinds of courses they really wanted, more and more people who were not in college would enroll.
We made up questionnaires that basically asked what kind of courses people were interested in. Leisure time activities, vocational classes, undergraduate studies, like that. Try to keep it basically as simple as possible. The questionnaires were handed out to each person who registered in the fall semester. As they turned in their class cards, they also turned in the completed questionnaire. The information for each questionnaire was then fed into the computer. The resulting data was supposed to be used to help college administrators in the development of new courses that would have a wider appeal to the entire community. Now, what came out of the computer, I don't know if you can see this or not, was junk, worthless information, at least as far as what we were trying to achieve was concerned.
But you thought this would be the example of a good survey, right? Nope, it was a flop. Can you figure out why? Remember now, the college wanted to conduct a survey that would help to predict what classes would be of real interest to the people of the community. They prepared a questionnaire, handed it out to people as they enrolled in college, and then fed the information into the computer. Now, where was the mistake?
The mistake, and it's pretty embarrassing, was in the sample. By giving out questionnaires to people enrolled in college, we were leaving out those people not enrolled in college. Ironically, that's the very group that we were trying to reach.
What the college was trying to do was to learn about the entire community. In order to do that, they had to choose a sample that represented the entire community. And in order to do that, they had to allow everyone a chance to fill out a questionnaire, not just the people who were already in college, okay? Okay, what about an example without computers? A simpler kind of survey, one you yourself might conduct. When you're sitting around on the beach catching a few rays, surveys and random samples might seem the farthest thing from a person's mind. But it's funny how things work out.
Ha, very funny it is to laugh.
What do you expect from a $5 mask? What's with Macmillan?
Asleep.
Well, tell her when she wakes up that I've been hearing around school she wants to go out with me again.
That's rich.
Everybody's saying it.
Who's everybody?
Don, Russ Carpenter, Chuck.
That's not everybody. For sure, that's just the lunatic fringe.
Well, anyways, how about going out this weekend?
No.
Why not?
For one thing, I have to give sailing lessons all weekend.
Sailing lessons. I wish I never helped you get that stupid boat.
Even if I didn't have to give lessons, I wouldn't go out with you.
How come?
Because you're not only conceited, but you're the world's worst loser.
Don't spare my feelings, Cynthia. I can take it.
You told everybody that I beat you in that race out of pure luck.
Luck had a little something to do with it.
No, I beat you because I sailed smarter than you. You didn't hear me going around making excuses when you beat me last year.
Okay, you beat me fair and square. What do you want me to do, open an artery over it?
No, I don't expect you to open an artery over it.
You wouldn't do it anyway.
Well, anyways, how about going out?
I told you I'm giving sailing lessons all weekend.
You're always giving sailing lessons. You must make a fortune.
Just a little business.
I thought girls were more interested in dates than business.
Well, welcome to the 20th century.
What?
Welcome to the 20th century.
What?
Welcome to the... Never mind. Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
What?
Why doesn't Bert fix up that boat of his?
I don't know. He always says he's going to, but then he gets a fishing charter or something and he just never gets around to it.
My dad says that if the termites on that boat ever stop holding hands, the whole thing will fall apart.
Well, it doesn't matter. He won't be able to tie up around her anymore anyhow.
What do you mean?
Well, everybody in the marina's sick and tired of that greasy old tub. So they're getting ready to vote on a new rule.
They can't pass a new rule to throw someone out just because their boat doesn't look so good.
Oh, yeah? Well, Mrs. Potter's behind it, and she always gets her way.
Uh-oh. I get it. This is how they're going to do it. Use of the marina for commercial activity shall be prohibited, which means you and your fishing charter, which means me and my sailing lesson business.
Great. Where do I vote?
This is serious, Michael.
Could have fooled me.
Don't worry about it, Cynthia. Nobody's going to vote for that.
How do you know?
Because Lester and I have asked around and nobody's voting for it.
Who did you ask?
Oh, Smitty, the Wards, the guys down at the maintenance yard.
But those are all your friends. Of course they're not going to vote for it.
That's what I'm saying.
Bert, I know this is like telling a little kid that there's no Santa Claus, but not everybody in the marina is your friend. My guess is that this rule has a pretty fair chance of passing.
That's my guess, too. The thing to do now is check it out. Both of us could be out of business if this thing passes.
So how are you going to check something like that out?
A survey. I'm going to call all the kids we know whose parents belong to the marina and find out how their parents are going to vote.
Well, what about all the people who don't have kids? What about all the people who have kids that we don't know?
What about them?
Well, I was just wondering how they'll vote. I mean, there's no way of telling since they won't be part of your sample.
Myrna, I don't care what people say about you. Sometimes you're pretty smart.
Thanks. I think.
Here we are. There's one card for each of the 600 members of the Marine Association with name, address, phone number, and all that stuff. Now, this is a duplicate set, but I still can't let you take it out of the office.
Oh, that's okay. We just want to pick some people at random and find out how they're going to vote. We can do that here. Myrna, shuffle and cut.
Well, how many cards do we need?
I don't know.
How many people do you think we could call in 1 hour?
Oh, I'd say maybe 15.
Okay, so if 2 of us work for 4 hours, that's 2 times 15. That's 120 people.
That sounds good enough. Not too big, not too small.
Okay, 120. Cut the cards.
Wait a minute. I have piano lessons today at 2 o'clock. I can't help you call all these people.
Oh, that's all right. Michael will help me.
Okay. Here's the first one. You know, he really is a nice guy.
You think so?
Yeah. You just think he's obnoxious because that time he pushed you off the jungle gym. But that was 7 years ago.
Well, he did give me 5 stitches, and I still have the scar under my chin, see?
Well, things have changed. He really does like you.
So who were these 120 people you called?
Some you know, some you don't. We chose them randomly. Actually, we only reached 91.
So what did you find out?
78 are going to vote for the new rule. Bert, it's almost certain to pass.
Well, that's it then.
No, listen. The people we called, they weren't concerned about what little commercial use went on in the marina. They're just tired of looking at your old beat-up boat.
crow Martha Potter's behind this.
Well, if you convince her that you're going to fix up your boat, maybe she'll drop the proposal.
I wouldn't ask her for the time of day.
Look, Bert, if this rule passes, it's gonna hurt Cynthia here as much as you.
Are you sure this rule's gonna pass?
Well, the results of our survey could be a little off, but yeah, we think it's gonna pass.
Well, I guess the old tub could use a dab of paint here and there.
Michael's right. The results of any survey could be a little off. But one way to keep it as accurate as possible is to be sure you get a good sample. And you can do that by making sure everyone in the group you want to know about has an equal chance to participate. For instance, Bert's informal survey only included his personal friends.
Don't worry about it, Cynthia. Nobody's gonna vote for that.
How do you know?
Because Lester and I have asked around and nobody's voting for it.
Who did you ask?
Well, Smitty, the wards, guys down at the maintenance yard.
And Cynthia's first idea also had a few problems.
I'm going to call all the kids we know whose parents belong to the marina and find out how their parents are going to vote.
Well, what about all the people who don't have kids? What about all the people who have kids that we don't know?
But finally, with the shuffling and cutting of the file cards of all of the marina members, everyone had an equal chance to be part of the survey. And the information proved that Bert really did have a problem, but it was a problem with a solution.
Well, there's Mrs. Potter. I just hope this works.
It's not Bert I'm worried about, it's a stupid parrot of his.
We'll keep Lester here with us until it's all over.
What's this all about, Bertram?
My dear Mrs. Potter, I thought you'd like to see how we're fixing up the boat.
You're fixing up your boat?
Sure, I thought she needed it. And I thought maybe you'd give me your opinion on some of the remodeling.
So far, so good. Where's Lester?
I'm terribly sorry I'm late. I've had so much on my mind.
Yes, come along. Let me show you some of the work we've done, Mrs. Potter.
Oh, please, call me Martha.
Yes.
Well, that's that.
Well, I guess your sailboat lesson giving Empire saved, so I'll see you.
Aren't you going to ask me out?
No, could you say no?
Well, maybe I've been wrong about you, Michael. I did a little asking around, kind of like a survey.
I knew this was coming. I hope it was random.
Oh, it was. I asked a cross-section of kids.
And everybody thought I was a great guy, right?
Well, no. They thought you were a stuck-up, conceited little snob. But they thought I was a stuck-up, conceited little snob, too.
So we're made for each other?
Actually, what they said was, we deserve each other.
Well, Cynthia, I think this is just another example of better living through random sampling. Watch it.